Aunt Glizzy on here. He spoke nothing positive about you, bro.
I know.
And I was actually shocked.
Nobody who can say, man, I smacked Trel, kicked him all in his ass, whipped the dog out on him, told him take his shoes off, take his chain. That probably ain't gonna never happen.
This what I care about. I am the guy who promoting Wale don't do nothing for the DMV. Fat Trel go say Wale do a lot for the DMV. He do more, he did a whole lot for the DMV. He gets no credit. He will not accept no disrespect from nobody. He is not going like that. Now that's when the question went left. He directly talking to me.
I'm trying to see you. You just said when you see Fat Trel, you gonna jack him up. I'm trying to see you tonight. I'm trying to pop out in the city tonight or wherever you want to meet up at. We could go around the gardens, which is your hood, what you rep. I'm gonna come around the gardens or you come around the Pinnacles.
It's on my block. Ain't no nigga bigger than me out there. Fat Trel can't get on here and say that. Fat Trel ain't no gangster. Fat Trel ain't put no work in. I bang that Glizzy. I made it possible for niggas to walk around the gardens right now. You talking about nigga? Me? I been in them bars. You talking about the hood? No, I put in work. I'm not just gonna be talking.
Hey yo squad, what's the drill? Back with another video, man. So as you already know, we live in a world of constant beefs nowadays. Some like the one between Young Dolph and Gotti that ended with blood on the streets. Others like the one between Kendrick and Drake that gave us all bangers to listen to and spiced the rap game up for the first time in a long while. But not all beefs are about life and demise. Some are straight up weird to watch. And today, I'm gonna be talking about one of the weirdest beefs that come out of DC in the past little while. It involves Aunt Glizzy and Fat Trel, two of DC's most well-known figures in the rap and internet game. A serious beef in DC rarely doesn't come with any immediate street drama, real shots fired or lives lost. But somehow these two dudes are managing to do just that by keeping the beef digital. But will it stay that way? How did this beef even start? And is there an end in sight? We gonna find out. So without further ado, let's skip the play and get down to business. All hot dogs and phallic-shaped meat products aside, when real ones hear the name Glizzy, they more than likely assume that they are a part of Shy Glizzy's crew, right? Well, you'll be right, but Aunt Glizzy didn't have the same role as 30 Glizzy or Goo Glizzy. Word on the street is that Aunt was from a different part of town, but he came up alongside Shy and acted like an enforcer for a while. Now, Aunt had about as rough a childhood as anybody in the game. He never knew his dad and he was responsible for raising his little siblings all on his own. When Shy created Glizzy Gang back in 2011, Aunt was one of the quiet ones who didn't get much of the spotlight. I mean, he showed up on a few Glizzy Gang songs like Do It back in 2012, but he never really rose up as high as Shy. And if we're gonna talk about the beefs, Shy had one of his own beefs with another guy named Fat Trel. Yup, that's right. Trel's been beefing with all the Glizzys up in DC, and his feud with Shy was one of the oldest of them all. You see, Trel tried to collab with Shy back when he was still coming up, and he got no response from him.
I'm not gonna insinuate why he didn't do the record, but I'm gonna keep it 100. I reached out to him to do a record, he didn't do the record, right? You know what I'm saying?
Were you not that hot? Maybe you were not hot.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wasn't nothing. I wasn't nobody. You feel me?
A couple years later, when Trel was finally getting some heat, Shy's manager reached out to him and said, hey man, there's this rapper coming out of the South Side named Shy Glizzy and he wants to do a record with you. Trel was all for it, but for some reason this collab didn't end up happening either.
It was like, nah. I'm like, yeah, nah. He's like, man, yeah, he want to do a song with you. I'm like, cool, let's do it. Now, mind you, I don't know what happened, but the song never got done, right? So on the outside looking in, it looked like Fat Trel reached out to Shy to do a record. The record never got done. Later on, Shy reached out to Trel to do a record. The record never got done.
Ant was probably watching all this go down, and he was also there when the beef reached a whole new level on Twitter.
So you know me, my ego pride in the way, man, nigga, get you writing me some shit like this. Yeah. So we started off going at each other on Twitter. Then that's when he dropped his diss song. Boom, he dropped his diss song, and after that, the rest was history, because you know me, I don't do diss records.
And before I continue, I've got to say, a lot of this beef went down somewhere on the internet, whether on Twitter or YouTube or Facebook. And that's just the way these rappers interacted with each other. So you could say that it wasn't exactly the most serious beef ever at the time. Of course, Nothing really came of any of this. Years later, Wale, who himself had a pretty big beef with Trel way back when, brokered a peace deal between him and Shy. This is all ancient history though. Everybody involved has grown up a lot since then, and they've had their fair share of ups and downs. So where does Ant Glizzy come into all of this? Well, like I've said before, he didn't become as big as the rappers like Shy, but he did manage to become a YouTube celebrity by talking his trash. He launched a channel where he basically acted like the hood comedian and called Trel out again and again. Seriously, Ant really boosted his career by coming at Fat Trel in the beginning, especially about the fact that he was broke. Like, one thing you might not know about Trel is that his career didn't go as planned or as it should have. The guy's had some major substance abuse problems.
I had a real bad addiction to lean and Percocets, you know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is.
And he's also had a hard time managing his finances and staying out of the pen. Calling him broke might be a bit of a stretch, but he definitely isn't where he should be considering his talent. Like, this guy really had collabed with Chief Keef and hella other artists while in his prime, and even had a deal with Rick Ross, so he should be rolling in cash right now. Now, according to Ant, Trel's been trying real hard to prove two things. Firstly, he wants to show the world that he's not broke, and second, he needs people to know that he really about that life and the type of guy that you wouldn't want to mess with out in them streets. Ant wanted to completely take that image apart, and he went to work like an agent of chaos, becoming an absolute menace to Trel's life in the process. It all started when Trel went to jail for about 3 years starting in 2019. You could say this was his fall from grace, cause his career just ain't been the same ever since. When he was in jail, he saw some kind of YouTube video in which Ant Glizzy was supposedly dissing him. The video was clickbait, but Trel only found that out when he called Glizzy up.
And he seen something on Big TV with some clickbait on YouTube that said, Ant Glizzy, this is Fat Trel. I'm like, nah, bro, you just came home from jail. That's clickbait. Click the jump. I wasn't talking about you. They cropped something and made something.
This had already been the cause of a lot of tension between the two, but things started to get worse when Trel got out the joint. You see, Ant had been dissing Wale for a while, saying that he did nothing for the DMV scene.
Past us. Everybody in the DMV keeps saying Wale put him on. I just watched Fat Trel do an interview. I'm gonna tell y'all about that later. Everybody keeps saying Wale put him on. There's nobody in the DMV, in the music game, that's in the industry that's on. I want y'all to notice that.
But remember how Wale patched things up with Trel and Shy back in the day? Well, it seemed like Trel felt like he owed Wale, so he stood up and said that the guy was the best thing that happened to the DMV scene.
I am the guy who promoting Wale don't do nothing for the DMV. Fat Trel go say Wale do a lot for the DMV. He did a whole lot for the DMV. He gets no credit. He will not accept no disrespect from nobody. He is not going like that. Now that's when the question went left. He directly talking to me.
Ant was real annoyed by this for sure. The fact that he offered to interview Trel when he got out and was denied made things even worse. That's when Ant started to go on the offensive, and bruh was really wildin'. The very first shot he made that made everybody question what Trel was about was the fact that he pointed out a video in which Trel said that he was born in Virginia.
He's from, wait, Fat Trel from Virginia?
Fat Trel from Virginia, bro. He not from DC, bro. That man from Virginia. Google it, look it up, ask anybody. I got a video on my page, Barber Son TV. Fat Trel said I'll just own him out. Yeah, because I was born in Virginia.
Which is a big deal because he claims to be repping those DC streets. According to Ant, he moved to DC as a kid, so he's fronting and doesn't actually belong to that neighborhood. This was also why he got so mad about Trel supporting Wale. In Ant's view, some dude from Virginia was walking up to the DC scene and supporting somebody that Ant felt was in it for himself. On top of that, Wale ain't from DC. And on top of that, Trel claimed to represent DC. He claimed to be a DMV rapper through and through. But how could he be that when he actually from Virginia? Like, he talked about that with a lot of pride, which means he's not 100% DC like he'd want some people to believe, according to Ant. It took a bit of time, but Ant really started taking Trel apart piece by piece. For a while, it didn't look like Trel was gonna respond, but that only seemed to make Ant more determined to get a rise out of him. He felt disrespected by Trel, so he responded by saying that Trel only headed back to his hood for a quick photo shoot or to shoot a music video before heading out.
Say what I want to say, ain't nobody gonna say nothing to me, none of that. I don't be going for that. I do what the I want. Fat Trel can't do what he want. I do what I want. It's on my block. Ain't no bigger than me out there. Fat Trel can't get on here and say that. Fat Trel ain't no gangster. Fat Trel ain't putting no work in. I banged that Glizzy. I made it possible to walk around the gods right now. You talking about?
And that was just the tip of the iceberg. And then he went on to point out Trel's lack of success, straight up calling him out for stunting when he didn't have that kind of heat that other rappers he'd come up with had gotten. This is where he started calling out Trel's whole rich rapper mask, saying that all the bling that he was rocking was fake and that he was just trying to pose for the cameras. Why would he believe that Trel was so strapped for cash, you ask? Well, it's probably because he wasn't with Rick Ross anymore. Like he had got a $600,000 record deal from MMG when his career was at its peak, but after a DUI charge and 3 years in jail, all of that had kind of gone down the drain, he thought. Supposedly Ross just wasn't answering Trel's calls anymore, so he had to keep up appearances somehow.
You wide open in the end zone, boom! The quarterback throw the ball, he throw the ball. That's a life of blessings, he throw it to you, guess what? Don't drop that, man. Don't drop it. And when you do, if you do, don't make no excuses. Don't blame it on the Gatorade. Don't blame it on the Gatorade. Don't blame it on your shoelaces.
As for how he did that, I've got 2 words for you. Fake chain. Yep, that's right. Trel allegedly wore a fake chain and claimed that it was worth $20,000.
Boom, he finessed Mama Son. Mama Son like, no. I think you should do Balenciaga or Dior. You don't do Louis Vuitton.
He said he had got it from Balenciaga, and when Ant called him out on the lie, Trel tried to post a receipt to social media to confirm that the chain was legit. The only problem was that receipt looked like it came straight from a random carryout out DC with the Mambo. Like it was some sort of anybody could get their hands on type of thing. Balenciaga would definitely give you something more legit looking, because their whole brand is about being verifiably exclusive. Then there was a matter of the Louis Vuitton coat. Now this was a coat that Trel wore everywhere, but according to Ant, it looked too cheap to be an original. And he even reached out to Louis Vuitton to ask if they had made anything like that and had it in stock.
On like Instagram with a black trench coat Louis Vuitton jacket. I wanted to know, did y'all have that in stores? It's a leather long black.
Find it online for you. This is not the store that you're calling. This is client services.
Oh, okay.
In case you think Trel was unbothered by all this, you dead wrong. He lost his mind after Ant kept making all these accusations. Trel put out a video telling Ant to come to his side of the city.
I'll pull up around the gardens tonight. I'll pull up around 1000 tonight. Come see me, or you could come around the Pinnacles tonight. I'm trying to see you.
And he'll pull up to his trenches and step to him.
You just said when you see Fat Trel, you gonna jack him up. I'm trying to see you tonight. I'm trying to pop out in the city tonight, or wherever you want to meet up at. We could go around the gardens, which is your hood, what you rep. I'm gonna come around the gardens, or you come around the Pinnacles.
And that's when Ant said that Trel should put that same energy into raising his kids. And if his history is anything to go by, Trel gonna be furious about that. Trel has done a couple of interviews lately sticking up for himself and setting the record straight in terms of all the BS that Ant has been talking. And he recently came out his mouth and talked about Trel's kids, and that really rubbed Trel the wrong way. And he talked about it in the interview with DJ Academics.
Ant disrespecting my children. So when it come to speaking on him publicly, I ain't gonna never give him too much.
You disrespect your children?
Yeah, he disrespected my
Not on my
children.
interview, did he?
No.
Okay.
He went on one of his social medias and said Fat Trel to smack his kids. He's such a I smack Fat Trel kids. Once he said that, it went past trolling. So
he set the record straight on a lot of things, and it's really seemed like he is growing and ready to get back in the game, regardless of what Ant talking about. And Glizzy is by far the most reckless dude in the DMV, and he owns that title. But at the same time, a lot of the stuff that he says checks out. Just because Fat Trel has been keeping it humble and staying out the way doesn't mean that Glizzy is wrong, but it doesn't mean that he right either. All I know is there better not be no bloodshed with this. That's the last thing that the city need, for real, for real. Everybody need to get back to the music, especially Trel. There was a time where he really had the streets, and the way that the game is going now, he can definitely pick up where he left off if he is consistent enough. The people still riding with him. What's next for both of these fools? Only God knows. But one thing is for sure, we will be watching. And in the meantime, I just hope they stay smart, stay alert, and stay real. I'm out, y'all.